All right, guys. So today is Monday, July 29th, and I did end up taking a loss today. As always, I want to show you guys my P&L, my brokerage statement of today. And with that being said, here it is right here. You guys can see I got in on CDTX at $2, 205, and 215. I ended up selling this play at 211, 192, 191. The stock also came back up. I tried to pull the trigger one more time to see if it was going to break out for us, and it didn't. And then I got in at 208 and sold at 193. This led to a total loss of $352. So this has been a little bit of a loss. Is that really that big of a loss? Again, no, it's not. I keep my losses small. I keep my losses tight. Do I want to keep that a little bit smaller? Yes, I want to keep that $200 or below. But this is not ruining my account. This is not ruining, anything really. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, this is a little bit of a tougher trade. Took a $350 loss. Let me make sure again I make that back on my next trade. The majority of my gains as well are over $350, so I should be able to make that back on my next trade, no problem. Now, what happened on CDTX? Why did I get in on CDTX? Well, starting this day on up right here, what have we learned? Right? What have we learned? We learned that we do have a Fed's meeting tomorrow. We know that we are in a very slow part of summer. We already talked about this a little bit. There is going to be parts of summer that are going to be in a little bit of a slump. Summertime is known to be the slowest time in stock trading. So we do need to be careful. If we have low volume, that is going to equal lower activity, which equals lower profit. Low volume also equals stronger resistance. Why would that be? Well, if we only have a couple people trying to buy at a break of resistance lines, we're not going to be able to get that big time breakout. A lot of people are going to end up selling and the stock's going to, start dumping on off. So out of every play we have so far today, right? Out of every play we have so far today, MDLY, do we have anything? Number one top gainer? No. NBY, do we have anything? No. Number two top gainer. That thing's just dumping on off right here, right? We could go to a 2-minute time frame, right? That thing's just falling right on off. MCC, that stock has no volume, right? REFR, that stock's slowly trying to make a little bit. I'll give you that. Slowly trying to get a little bit of activity, right? OASM, again, nothing, right? ACST, it's starting to come up a little bit right now. What other plays did we have? SINT this morning, a big top gainer. Nothing happened on that one. That one started dumping on off, right? So a lot of our plays today, guys, we were not really seeing anything. Right now, we're having a little bit, and REFR, we'll keep that on watch, and also ACST, I'll put that on the bottom level too. But this morning was definitely a very flat morning. So what did I do? I wanted to look for the play that had the most credibility in my eyes, the stock that had the most credibility towards me, and to me, that play was CDTX. Now, why did this stock have the most credibility towards me? Well, this stock had the best press release. If I look at CDTX, what do I see about this? I'm seeing that this stock has reported top of the line results in its phase 2 trials. I'm seeing the word success in phase 2 trials. I'm seeing this italics bold talking about great treatments. I'm talking about that it's met its objectives. I'm seeing right here that we're having very good CEO statements, right? These are encouraging results. Our new drugs have been approved. I like CDTX. Why else do I like CDTX? Another reason I like CDTX is because CDTX, while it was a top gainer this morning, it wasn't a massive pre-market top gainer. And when I talk about massive pre-market top gainer, I'm talking about like SINT. SINT went from $2 and moved all the way up to $4.22. Right? This was a big top gainer in pre-market today. Right? What other big top gainers did we have in pre-market today? Let me look back right here. We had CLDC, right? CLDC. This one was up a little bit just because that one order, so that one doesn't count, right? We had MCC. This one opened up at around 270. It's only up 10 cents right now. What else do we have? We had CDTX, then NBY. NBY, that one's been fading on off. That one's had a big time, gap up. But what I liked about CDTX right here is it didn't have a massive gap up. And why do I say that, guys? Because a lot of times when we have massive gap ups, what happens to these plays? Big time gap up, big time dump on off, right? Big time gap up, big time dump on off because the stock already made its move in pre-market. the majority of massive spikes, massive runs, right? When we look at plays, right? Stocks that go on supernovas don't really have that big of a gap up or no gap up at all because that means there's not really any buyers. So if there's no buyers, there can't really be any sellers. So again, once the stock starts moving, it starts taking on off. So I saw this morning CDTX didn't have that big of a gap up, had about 10% gap up, which is pretty small compared to other stocks that sometimes have 40, 50, 60, 80, 100% gap up, right? So CDTX, smaller gap up, right? CDTX, amazing press release we already went over and talked about. CDTX was a little bit larger on float at 19 million, but the stock was only $1.60, so I wasn't really thinking that bad of it. And then this play did start spiking on up. Now, our other top gainers this morning, we looked at SINT. SINT, was dumping on off, right? That stock didn't really get anything going towards it, right? We had MCC. MCC, this stock really didn't do anything, right, at this time as well, right? We had BDR, where BDR had a quick rip and then started dumping on off, right? We had CTRM, where CTRM had a quick spike and start dumping on off. And I'm saying, all right, CTRM, this stock spiked and dumped. MBY, this stock spiked and dumped. MCC, this stock's not really doing too much at this time. It's holding its gains, but not really doing too much at this time. SINT, the number one top gainer at this morning, dumped on off. Every single stock's dumping on off. So let me look at the play with the most credibility, the best press release. That's probably where activity can go, especially because there's not too many buyers yet. And that means we could definitely see a lot of buyers start moving in on this play. So CDTX, as you guys can see, started creeping its way on up. And I'm saying to myself at this point, right? I'm saying to myself right here, I'm saying, oh, wow, CDTX is starting to move. So starting to move. I'm like, oh, this has to be the top gainer of the day. So what did I do? Right when it started breaking through $2, I hopped in and I jumped in on this play. I got in at $2. Then I got in a little bit later at 205 and 215. Total 4,000 shares. I gave it a few minutes. What happened? The stock had its pullback. Right now, this stock had its pullback, and I'm saying, oh, I got to be a smart trader. I got to make sure I'm getting out of this play. I got out at 211, 192, 191. That was about a $260 loss. Now the stock started moving back on up. And I'm saying to myself, all right, maybe I just got in at a little bit of a tough area, a little bit of a chase, got a pullback now, starting to move in. My last 500 shares, I buy at 208. Then what started happening? Stock started turning. I got out again before, the massive dump off. But this, was the best looking play in my eyes. This was the best looking play to me because of all the reasons I just went over. All right. So it has a good press release, decent float, not much of a gap up. Everything else is fading on off. I can't make money unless I pull the trigger. I can't make money unless I hop in on these plays. Right. I want to be the mentor to you to show you how to win, how to make money, but I also live stream everything, show you guys all my P&Ls so that you guys can also learn the proper way to make a mistake. And that sounds weird, doesn't it? Doesn't that sound weird? A proper way to make a mistake. What's a proper way to make a mistake? We don't want to make any mistakes in general. Well, as I said earlier, a proper way to make a mistake is to learn from your mistake. The stock market took my money today. The stock market took $350, right? And since it took my $350, the stock market told me, hey, I took your money. Learn why I took your money, and next time I won't take your money. That's what it's saying right now. Learn why you lost this money, and next time it won't happen. So what can I learn from here? I can learn from here that maybe I want to be a little bit more cautious during these next week and a half with the Fed's meeting being in the prime time summer. Maybe I want to limit my share size a little bit. Maybe I don't want to trade right here until I see at least one big breakout so I know volume's back in the market. Maybe as I saw as CDTX start spiking back on up, maybe I got in a little bit late. The stock did go from 175 to $2. I should have been in at 180, sold around $2 rather than buying for the break of $2. Low volume equals stronger resistance. I shouldn't be buying for breakouts on 4,000 shares. Maybe get in early on 3,000, look for a breakout on 1,000, right? I'm learning what my error was so I don't make it again. The problem with a lot of traders, they lose, they walk away. They make the same error again tomorrow. They lose, they walk away. They make the same error again tomorrow. You must learn from mistakes if you want to correct your mistake. The thing is, it's very tough to learn from your mistake, right? It's very tough to be in an argument and go up and say I'm sorry to someone, right? It's like I don't want to say I'm sorry, but you do it and you figure out what's wrong and you go on and you move on with your relationship with ever, that person, whoever it may be, right? You don't ever want to sit there and stare at a loss because it hurts because you lost money. But that's the only way to improve as a trader, to figure out what your weaknesses are so you can turn them into strengths. That's the only way you can become better, right? So that's what you have to do with your trading. And that's the mentor I want to be as well, to learn to teach you the proper way about how to handle a loss, or what I said, the proper way to make a mistake. So CDTX, want to make sure that you guys understand why I bought in on this play, why I bought in on this play, excuse me, why I traded this play, how I traded this play, and again, the end result of this play. So always want to, again, make sure that you guys have a full understanding about why I hop in on the stocks I do, why I play the stocks I do, to make sure that you guys are, again, becoming the best traders that you guys can as well. So awesome work. Happy to help you guys out. If you have any questions, please ask.